Approximately 1 in every 3 Indian adults, even children, has fatty liver. It is called silent epidemic.
When you have fatty liver happening, that in turn leads to other problems. So it increases your risk for diabetes, liver disease, even hypertension, even cardiovascular events, which is why it is important for everyone not ignore it and to understand that it's not that, अरे सबको fatty liver होता है. It's not that. It is something that we need to be very, very serious and careful about. And if you have been diagnosed with fatty liver, then you should be working on reversing it.
Most people think it's just because of alcohol. They think if I don't drink alcohol, I can't have fatty liver.
And that is the biggest myth, okay?
Yeah.
Because literally called non-alcoholic fatty
Yes.
liver, because it happens even to people who don't drink alcohol or drink just occasionally. And once you've gotten fatty liver disease, then you can very well get fatty liver again and again. It will recur because now your body has understood that there is a way here, right? That fat accumulation can happen in your liver. So even if you do end up enrolling some program or you change your diet and then you reverse the fatty liver or now you don't have fatty liver, does not mean that you can't get it again.
Morning drinks, waters for liver detox, real or hype?
Scam.
Supplements like milk thistle or liver detox powders, effective or a waste of money?
Waste of money.
Approximately 1 in every 3 Indian adults, even children, has fatty liver. It is called silent epidemic. Most of them don't even know they has fatty liver. So today I want to ask some questions about fatty liver. Tell me, what is fatty liver and why it is so common in India now?
Okay. So what has happened is, with an increasing number of people having so much excess fat in their bodies, we not only see it in terms of our body size increasing, what also happens is all of that extra fat then starts accumulating around your organs. Okay. And one of the first places it starts happening is our liver, because the liver is an organ which is playing a very important role in our fat metabolism. Simply explained or simply put, it is something, fatty liver is something like your liver having a layer of fat on it, inside and outside.
Oh.
Okay. And when you have this happening, when you have fatty liver happening, that in turn leads to other problems. So it increases your risk for diabetes, it increases your risk for liver disease, it increases your risk for even hypertension or even cardiovascular events, adverse events, of course. So, which is why it is important for everyone to not ignore it and to understand that it's not that, अरे सबको fatty liver होता है. It's not that. It is something that we need to be very, very serious and careful about. And if you have been diagnosed with fatty liver, then you should be working on reversing it.
Then, to understand this fatty liver, what are the main causes of fatty liver? Is it just the alcohol or are there any non-alcoholic reasons as well?
So it actually isn't alcohol. Most commonly, fatty liver is found in people who are not drinking alcohol.
Strange.
Yeah, so that's why it's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Okay. So the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or the common fatty liver, most common fatty liver that we find now, is happening simply because of too many calories and too many free fatty acids in the bloodstream. So our diet has increasingly become, say, packed with too many ultra processed and empty calories. Sugars, which comes from things like sugars or refined flour or even your processed foods and everything that we eat, ultra processed ones. And also the total fat has increased significantly. So if we compare to what the Indian population was eating, say 40 years ago versus now, the quantum of fat that is coming in our diets has quadrupled. So we are eating 4 times, on an average, 4 times more fat than what our Nani and Dadi used to eat.
And we are more sedentary than them.
Much more sedentary, because they were also putting in so much effort and physical activities that were happening, or this physical effort labor that was happening even in everyday activities, like say grinding something.
Yes.
So it was done by manual labor, which we are not doing now. We are now using the mixer grinder, right?
Yeah.
So which is why we have become that much more sedentary. Our diet is full of empty calories, it's full of ultra processed junk foods, it's full of added sugar, full of added fat, hidden fat, okay? And on top of it, we also live in a very, very stressful environment now as compared to what was earlier. And this applies to adults as well as children. So children also nowadays, they live in mentally very stressful environments, and adults, of course, we are forever stressed.
Yes.
So that also adds to it. And the fact that we don't exercise as a nation, unfortunately, we barely exercise, and we have enough data. We have so many surveys that have been conducted which have shown that on, say, the global exercise scale, we really lack at the rank at the bottom of it.
Definitely.
So absolutely. So that is something which contributes to there being a caloric excess, and hence there being too much fat, because now we are literally getting increasingly more fat. Okay, our sizes are increasing. You are seeing that all of us, we have our waist circumference increasing, so which translates to there being an increased total fat. And it's not surprising at all that things like diabetes and fatty liver are on the rise.
So then is just the increased fat or increased weight too? What do we need to check?
So it's not just increased fat, it's also the total number of calories that are increasing. To give you an example, one might say that I don't eat anything deep fried, okay? But if my diet is full of, say, lots of sugary drinks, or there's a lot of cola in my diet, or if I'm eating mithai, or I'm eating cookies and biscuits every day, right? All of that, although not like super high in fat, it is going to add a lot of empty calories to my diet.
Definitely.
And my total calorie intake will increase, which will get me to gain weight.
Oh.
Okay, and that weight gain is not muscle weight that you are gaining, it's all fat weight. So because of all of this, because of the sheer fact that our weight is increasing, because of an increase in the fat percentage in our body, is why we are now seeing this epidemic of fatty liver.
Okay. Then how is it diagnosed? Are there any tests that tells us that the person has fatty liver?
Yeah, so it's diagnosed with an ultrasound, and you also do some tests of liver enzymes. So you have SGOT, SGPT are the tests that are done, or you can just walk into a lab and ask them to do a liver function test.
Okay.
And you will see the enzyme levels. That is what they will check in that. If those levels are abnormal, then you will be told to go for an ultrasound, and then your doctor will diagnose you with fatty liver.
Okay. Are there any stages of fatty liver? And
So you might have heard of grade 1 and grade
Yeah.
2, right? Yeah. So those are not stages, but those are actually different ways in which fat is distributed in the liver. So you have different grades of fatty liver, but irrespective of whatever fat distribution you are seeing in the liver, if you have been diagnosed with fatty liver, or if you have abnormal liver enzymes, that is your SGOT, SGPT, you need to be working on dropping your body fat. You need to be working on dropping your total body weight. You need to start exercising. You need to watch what you are eating and get healthier.
as I mentioned, it's a silent epidemic. So are there any symptoms to detect fatty liver?
So it's called silent because there aren't any symptoms.
Oh.
Okay, so most people, when they get diagnosed with fatty liver, it comes as a surprise to them, because no one assumes or correlates that my 10 kg increase in weight could actually now be translating into me getting fatty liver. So
Most people think it's just because of alcohol. They think if I don't drink alcohol, I can't have fatty liver.
and that is the biggest myth, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's literally called non-alcoholic fatty
Yes.
liver, because it happens even to people who don't drink alcohol or drink just occasionally. It's also happening in teenagers who are nowhere
Yes.
near, hopefully, having any alcohol, right? So it's something which can happen to anyone. So irrespective of whether you are male or female, it also happens to people who think that they are generally healthy.
Oh.
Okay, because you will find that there are a lot of people who look skinny or who look lean, but they have what is called skinny fat, which is a fat percentage, body fat percentage is higher, and they also have very unhealthy eating habits. For example, eating very less or being very strict about their diet over the week, and on the weekends just going and binging on very high calorie foods and high fat foods. So that by itself also puts you at risk of getting fatty liver disease.
Let's move on to diet and exercise. How one needs to manage his or her diet in order to reverse or manage fatty liver?
Okay, now when we say fatty liver reversal, we need to know that it's not that you reversed it and now it will never occur to you. Okay, please remember that once you've gotten fatty liver disease, then you can very well get fatty liver again and again. It will recur because now your body has understood that there is a way here, right, that fat accumulation can happen in your liver. So even if you do end up enrolling some program or you change your diet and then you reverse the fatty liver or now you don't have fatty liver, does not mean that you can't get it again. Okay, so whatever changes you make to say cure or to come out of a fatty liver situation, you need to make them for life. Okay, you have to ensure that you're eating healthy for life. So what do you need to do then? First of all, you need to increase your fiber intake. Why am I saying increase your fiber intake? Because the moment you're increasing your fiber intake, you end up eating less of the other stuff.
Oh, and what about protein?
Protein intake as well, I will come to that. But so you are going to end up say eating more of fiber rich foods like say your fruits and vegetables, and even say lean proteins like your dals and pulses, which are going to give you a lot of fiber. It's going to fill you up and you will end up eating overall less calories. Okay, so fiber is number one. The second thing that you need to remember is to eat adequate protein because you want your liver to heal. Okay, so that doesn't mean that you start loading yourself up with protein supplements, but ensure that you are meeting your protein requirement. So if you're a 60 kg weight person, then you are taking 60 grams of, eating 60 grams of protein through the day is what you need to remember. The most important thing that one needs to watch out for is the fat intake and the sugar intake. So when I say fat and sugar, I also am speaking about the hidden fat or fat in food products. Okay, so things like biscuits and cookies and namkeens and everything are an absolute no. It needs to go away, far, far away from your home, not even just your diet, from your home. So make sure that you're not eating anything that is like super high in fat, and even your daily fat intake. So whatever you're eating in terms of your roti, sabzi, dal, chawal. So you need to ensure that you're not having more than 25 grams of added fat, because that's fat that you're adding to cook that food. So not more than 25 grams of fat in a day. And also watch out for other empty calories. So things like like I mentioned, the fruit juices and colas and ice creams and your junk or ultra processed pizzas that people tend to eat, or even say the namkeens and harmless looking bhujiyas and everything. All of that needs to go because the fat intake, hidden fat intake also needs to reduce.
And what's the best exercise to reduce your fat intake or to manage your fatty liver?
Best exercise to manage your body fat percentage and to manage your fatty liver is going to be walking. So you can start with walking and then also include other things like say swimming or jogging and running. And along with that, because you also want to ensure that you are maintaining your muscle mass, then you should be also strength training. But walking is one of the best exercises. So if you have fatty liver, I would recommend that you walk for an hour in the morning and another hour in the evening, and that's going to help you along with the diet, of course. So this is again another myth that people think that if I don't change anything in my diet and I just start exercising more, I'll be able to manage my fatty liver. But please remember, till the time you change your diet, you will not be able to reverse the fatty liver, because otherwise your diet will continue to have that much more fat and calories, which is going to keep on burdening your liver. So that's not the way to go about it.
I've heard on Instagram detox diet is best if you want to detox your liver or if you have fatty liver. How true is that?
Oh, it isn't. Actually, a lot of these detox juices and diets and everything, like cleanses that you have, they end up putting more load on your liver and kidney. A lot of times, people actually enroll to such detox camps and institutes, go for a 21-day cleanse and detox and everything. And after, say, 2-3 months, they'll end up getting kidney stones. So, you, while trying to get rid of fatty liver, you also got kidney stones free. Buy one, get one that you don't want.
Definitely. I understand all about fatty liver, but what if I decide to ignore my fatty liver? Is there any alarming stage or grade of fatty liver?
Why you should not be ignoring fatty liver of whichever grade you have been diagnosed in is because if you don't change your diet and your exercise, if you don't change your habits, then you are going to very quickly move towards liver cirrhosis. Now, cirrhosis of liver.
What's that?
Yeah, so cirrhosis of liver is where your liver is, you start seeing, say, a decrease in your liver functioning, and it's a very difficult situation wherein it can even become life threatening if not managed well. Okay, so you don't want to see that. Okay, liver cirrhosis is not a nice place to be in, and its management is also like very difficult, and it's going to give you another, like, please understand this, that at times I would say that your liver is more important than your brain.
Oh,
Because if your brain one day decides to not work or, is taking a leave, for example, you can still survive. But if your liver is not working, you will die on the spot.
oh God.
Okay, so sorry to have used a D word of die, but yeah, don't ignore fatty liver. And because no one, trust me, no one wants liver cirrhosis. So
Definitely.
don't take it lightly and work on it.
Okay. Now we are towards the end. So I have some quick rapid fire questions for you. So, does one need to stop sugar if they have fatty liver?
No, not really, but it's helpful.
Is rice bad for fatty liver?
No.
Morning drinks, waters for liver detox, real or hype?
Scam.
Are millets better than regular rice or wheat for fatty liver?
Yes, they are.
Do high protein diets stress the liver?
Adequate protein diet is important, but you don't need to be having a high protein diet if you have fatty liver.
Does eating ghee or oil or butter worsen fatty liver?
Yeah, it does. Too much of any fat, be it ghee or olive oil even, is going to worsen the symptoms.
Can skipping meals help your liver recover faster?
Nope.
Are supplements like milk thistle or liver detox powders effective or a waste of money?
Waste of money.
Now, lastly, true or false? Fatty liver means you have to stop eating fat.
You don't have to stop eating fat, but you have to significantly reduce your fat intake.
You can't reverse fatty liver.
You can, but it can also recur.
Is coffee in fatty liver helpful?
Black coffee is helpful, but not the instant kinds. You need to be drinking the one which is like roasted and you're having a drip coffee or an AeroPress or, those kinds.
So that's all for today. I hope we answered all your questions about fatty liver. If you have more questions, let us know in the comments.
Tell us what you tried to manage your fatty liver, and if anyone in your family struggled or faced fatty liver, and how did they go about fixing it. We would like to know. And of course, you do want to share this podcast with anyone who is currently suffering with fatty liver or is trying to manage it. I'm sure it will help them.